You're listening to leadai.dev, your daily updates on AI development. Today's topic is K2view Enterprise Context powers production scale agentic AI deployment. Here's a quick overview. K2view positions enterprise context as the critical foundation for deploying agentic AI systems at production scale, addressing data integration challenges. Now, let's ask our analyst about these developments. What's new? K2view's Enterprise Context Framework for Agentic AI.
K2view has positioned enterprise context as the fundamental enabler for production scale agentic AI deployment, addressing critical gaps in how organizations implement autonomous AI systems. The company's approach centers on providing comprehensive data context that allows agentic AI systems to make informed decisions across complex enterprise environments. This framework directly tackles the challenge of AI agents operating with incomplete or fragmented information, which has been a major barrier to enterprise adoption. The emphasis on enterprise context represents a shift from generic AI agent implementations toward domain specific, contextually aware autonomous systems. The technical implementation focuses on K2view's data fabric architecture, which provides real time access to unified enterprise data across multiple systems and formats. This context layer enables agentic AI systems to understand business rules, compliance requirements, and operational constraints before taking autonomous actions. The framework includes data lineage tracking, semantic understanding of business entities, and dynamic policy enforcement. Key technical components include a context engine that maintains state across multiple AI agent interactions, a policy framework that governs agent behavior based on enterprise rules, and integration APIs that connect to existing enterprise systems without requiring major architectural changes. Previously, organizations attempting to deploy agentic AI faced significant challenges with data silos, inconsistent information formats, and lack of business context. Traditional AI implementations required extensive manual configuration and custom integration work for each use case. K2view's approach eliminates these barriers by providing a unified context layer that automatically aggregates and contextualizes enterprise data. This represents a fundamental shift from point solution AI deployments toward comprehensive, context aware autonomous systems that can operate safely and effectively across entire enterprise ecosystems. Real-time data, fabric architecture, providing unified access to enterprise systems, context engine maintaining state and business rules across AI agent interactions, policy framework enabling governance and compliance for autonomous AI actions, semantic data modeling for business entity understanding, and relationship mapping integration ship AP is supporting existing enterprise architecture without major changes.
Thank you for that analysis. Let's move on. Who benefits from enterprise context-driven agentic AI systems?
Large enterprises with complex data ecosystems benefit most from K2view's enterprise context approach to agentic AI. Organizations with multiple business units, diverse data sources, and strict compliance requirements find significant value in having AI agents that understand business context before taking autonomous actions. Financial services companies, healthcare organizations, and manufacturing enterprises with intricate operational workflows see immediate benefits from context aware AI agents that can navigate complex business rules and regulatory constraints. IT teams responsible for AI governance and deployment appreciate the unified approach to data access and policy enforcement. Mid-market companies implementing their first agentic AI systems also benefit from the structured approach to enterprise context. These organizations often lack the internal expertise to build custom context layers but need AI agents that understand their specific business processes. Retail companies managing inventory and customer interactions, logistics providers coordinating complex supply chains, and professional services firms automating client workflows find the enterprise context framework accelerates their AI deployment timelines. Data teams and business analysts particularly value the semantic modeling capabilities that make enterprise data more accessible to AI systems. Organizations with simple, single system environments, or those just beginning their AI journey, may find K2view's enterprise context framework overly complex for their immediate needs. Companies with limited data integration requirements or those focused on narrow, single purpose AI applications might benefit more from simpler, point solution approaches. Startups and small businesses without complex enterprise data challenges should evaluate whether the comprehensive context framework aligns with their current scale and complexity requirements. Large enterprises with multi-system environments and complex compliance requirements, mid-market companies seeking structured approach to first agentic AI implementations, IT teams requiring unified governance and policy enforcement for AI agent behavior, data teams needing semantic modeling and unified data access across enterprise systems.
Great insight, really helpful context. How to get started. Implementing enterprise context for agentic AI.
Implementation begins with assessing current enterprise data architecture and identifying key systems that agentic AI agents will need to access. Organizations should catalog their data sources, document existing integration points, and map business processes that would benefit from autonomous AI actions. The assessment phase includes evaluating data quality, identifying governance requirements, and establishing security protocols for AI agent access. Teams should also define success metrics and identify initial use cases that demonstrate clear business value while minimizing risk. The technical implementation follows a phased approach starting with data fabric deployment and context engine configuration. First, establish connections to core enterprise systems using K2view's integration APIs, ensuring proper authentication and access controls. Configure the semantic data model to represent key business entities and relationships relevant to planned AI agent use cases. Set up the policy framework with initial governance rules that define acceptable AI agent behaviors and decision boundaries. Deploy monitoring and logging systems to track AI agent actions and ensure compliance with enterprise policies. Test the context layer with simple queries and validate that business rules are properly enforced. Pilot deployment should focus on a single, well-defined use case with clear success criteria and limited business impact. Configure AI agents to access enterprise context through the established framework, implementing proper error handling and fallback procedures. Monitor agent behavior closely during the pilot phase, adjusting context parameters and policy rules based on observed performance. Gradually expand the scope of AI agent access to additional data sources and business processes, maintaining strict governance controls throughout the expansion. Establish regular review processes to evaluate agent performance and update context configurations as business requirements evolve. Conduct comprehensive data architecture assessment and catalog existing integration points, deploy data fabric infrastructure with proper security controls and access management, configure semantic data models representing key business entities and relationships, implement policy framework with governance rules and compliance monitoring, execute phased pilot deployment with single use case and clear success. Metrics establish ongoing monitoring and review processes for continuous optimization.
That's a very interesting point. Tell us about competitive context. How enterprise context changes agentic AI landscape.
K2view's enterprise context approach differentiates from traditional agentic AI platforms like Microsoft's Copilot Studio and Google's Vertex AI Agent Builder, which focus primarily on natural language interfaces and basic workflow automation. While these platforms excel at creating conversational AI experiences, they often struggle with complex enterprise data integration and business context understanding. K2view's Data Fabric Foundation provides deeper enterprise system integration compared to point solutions that require extensive custom development for each data source. The semantic modeling capabilities offer more sophisticated business logic understanding than generic AI agent frameworks. Compared to enterprise automation platforms like UiPath and Automation Anywhere, K2view's approach provides more intelligent, context-aware decision-making capabilities. Traditional robotic process automation tools excel at repetitive task execution, but lack the contextual understanding needed for complex business decisions. K2view's framework enables AI agents to make autonomous decisions based on comprehensive enterprise context rather than following predetermined scripts. The real-time data access and policy enforcement capabilities provide advantages over batch processing automation systems that operate on outdated information. The enterprise context approach has limitations in scenarios requiring rapid prototyping or simple AI agent deployment. Organizations seeking quick wins with basic AI automation might find K2view's comprehensive framework requires more initial investment than simpler alternatives. The platform's strength in complex enterprise environments may be unnecessary overhead for straightforward use cases. Additionally, the emphasis on enterprise context assumes organizations have well-structured data and established governance processes, which may not apply to all potential users. Deeper enterprise system integration compared to conversational AI platforms, more intelligent decision-making than traditional robotic process automation tools, real-time data access advantages over batch processing automation systems, higher initial complexity compared to simple AI agent deployment solutions.
Good analysis. Let's continue. What's next? Future implications for enterprise agentic AI?
The emphasis on enterprise context signals a maturation of the agentic AI market toward production ready, business critical applications. Future developments will likely focus on expanding the semantic understanding capabilities to include industry specific knowledge domains and regulatory frameworks. K2view's roadmap includes enhanced machine learning capabilities for automatic context discovery and business rule inference from existing enterprise data patterns. Integration with emerging AI agent orchestration platforms and multi agent coordination systems will enable more sophisticated enterprise automation scenarios. The broader ecosystem impact includes driving standardization around enterprise context, APIs, and data fabric architectures for AI agent deployment. Other vendors will likely adopt similar approaches to enterprise context, creating more competition in the space while advancing overall market capabilities. Integration partnerships with major cloud providers and enterprise software vendors will expand the reach of context aware agentic AI systems. The development of industry specific context templates and pre built business logic libraries will accelerate deployment for common enterprise use cases. Long term implications include the potential for enterprise context to become a competitive differentiator as organizations build more sophisticated AI agent ecosystems. Companies with comprehensive, well structured enterprise context will have advantages in deploying advanced autonomous systems compared to those with fragmented data architectures. The approach may influence broader enterprise architecture decisions as organizations recognize the strategic value of unified data context for AI applications. However, success will depend on continued innovation in making enterprise context more accessible and easier to implement for organizations with varying technical capabilities. Enhanced semantic understanding for industry specific knowledge domains, integration with multi agent orchestration and coordination platforms, development of standardized enterprise context, APIs, and frameworks, industry specific context templates for accelerated deployment.
Great analysis. So, what are the key takeaways from all of this?
Enterprise context serves as the foundation for production scale agentic AI deployment by providing comprehensive business understanding. K2view's data fabric architecture enables real time access to unified enterprise data across multiple systems and formats. Implementation requires phased approach starting with data assessment and progressing through pilot deployment with strict governance. Context aware AI agents provide competitive advantages over traditional automation tools through intelligent decision making capabilities.
And what market signals should our listeners watch for?
Enterprise AI maturation. K2view's focus on enterprise context indicates the agentic AI market is moving beyond experimental implementations toward production critical business applications. This shift requires more sophisticated data integration and governance capabilities than first generation AI agent platforms provided. Organizations are demanding AI systems that understand business context and operate safely within enterprise constraints, driving vendors to develop more comprehensive frameworks for autonomous AI deployment, data fabric integration. The emphasis on data fabric architecture as the foundation for agentic AI reflects growing recognition that successful AI agent deployment depends on unified data access across enterprise systems. This trend suggests convergence between data management and AI agent platforms, with vendors increasingly offering integrated solutions rather than point products. Organizations are prioritizing AI platforms that can leverage existing data investments rather than requiring separate data preparation efforts. Governance first, AI deployment. K2view's policy framework approach signals market demand for AI agent governance and compliance capabilities from the initial deployment phase. This represents a shift from the traditional approach of implementing AI systems first and adding governance later. Enterprise buyers are increasingly requiring built-in policy enforcement, audit trails, and compliance monitoring as prerequisites for AI agent adoption, particularly in regulated industries with strict operational requirements.
What should developers and operators do with this information?
Evaluate current data architecture and identify integration requirements for agentic AI deployment within next 30 days. Pilot K2view's enterprise context framework with single use case in controlled environment over 60-day period. Establish governance policies and compliance monitoring before expanding AI agent access to additional enterprise systems. Plan phased rollout strategy with clear success metrics and risk mitigation for production scale deployment within 6 months.
Thank you for listening to leadai.dev. Stay tuned for our next daily updates in this rapidly emerging market.